Are there
I,
any?
I have a question about the durable power of attorney. I always thought that it came into being just like a healthcare proxy when the person dies. This is new to me.
Yes, you did what everybody does, so this is great.
Thank you, Gwen.
Well, I want to make sure I'm talking about it right.
No, this is great. Everybody says what you said. So we have different hats that we wear. So when it comes to health, we put on our healthcare proxy hat to help somebody. When it comes to money and finances, so let's say my mother has named me as her POA, her power of attorney. So while she is living, I can go into the bank and put on my power of attorney hat and help her. Oh, incapacitated. Oh, you said dead, but.
Yeah, but there's two issues.
Wait, let me just finish. So then, well, you said the word dead, so I'm going to go there too. So then after my mother dies, I go into the bank and I put on my executor hat for her will. Or if she did a trust, I put on my trustee hat. So just to be clear, power of attorney is only while you're living. Because all the time people say, well, can't my power of attorney get into my stuff after I'm dead? No, power of attorney is only while you're living. So then you were asking, springing. Yeah, here.
Can only be invoked when the person is incapacitated. Really?
There are two different kinds. There is the one that is immediately effective, and there is also a type of power of attorney called a springing power of attorney, which operates much like the healthcare proxy, where in the document, in the power of attorney itself, it says, if I become unable to, or if two doctors certify, whatever the language says, then and only then does my agent or do my agents have power to act for me. I will hand it back to Alexis to see what she says. My position when I used to practice was that I did not recommend a springing power of attorney. If you are choosing someone who is trustworthy enough to have the enormous power to be your agent under a power of attorney, trust them not to do wrong by you when you can be checking the bank statements. Because if you don't trust them enough not to do wrong to you when you can check, then you're saying, but I trust you enough not to do wrong by me once I can't check my statements anymore, once I'm disabled. What's your position on springing powers?
Yeah, no, the same. I think, I wish we could do springing powers because that's what everybody wants, but banks do not like springing powers. So if you walk into the bank with a POA that has a springing power, the bank is going to say bye-bye. So that's why we don't do that.
Well, no, they can do it when they're incapacitated. Only when they're incapacitated. If the person can make their own decisions when they're living, they don't need it. But say they're in the accident and they're in a coma and they need to make some decisions.
Right. So a power of attorney, when you sign the document in our office, technically, whoever you've named, like I've named my husband, I've named my brother. Technically, I'm totally, I think, able to still manage my own affairs. But technically, because I've signed that POA, they can go out and do things in my name. However, they're not going to until I need them to, which comes back to the issue of you name somebody who you trust.
Thank you.
One other additional safeguard would be your agent could be immediately able to act for you, but they're not going to be able to do it without either, depending on where you're going with this, either an original signed power of attorney or a photocopy of the signed power of attorney. They can't just walk up to the bank a counter and say, I'm the power of attorney for Alexis Levitt, and I would like all the money in that account, please. That is not going to work. They have to show it. So you always want to talk with anybody you're going to consider naming as an agent. First, you've got to decide if you're comfortable and they're trustworthy enough. But then, Will you be my agent under power of attorney? That's a lot of responsibility. Will you be my agent under the healthcare proxy? These are the things I would want. Are you comfortable doing those things for me, making these decisions if I need you to make them? And I had a friend whose dear friends of his parents outside Philadelphia named him, he was an attorney practicing up here in Plymouth County, named him as healthcare proxy and agent under power of attorney. And he had no idea until he was contacted by physicians down in the Philadelphia area saying, you're the healthcare proxy for this person. Hello. You can't do that. Don't do that.
Are there any other questions?
With a power of attorney, does the individual who you've given power of attorney to have a fiduciary responsibility that they have to act in your benefit?
Yes. Yes. So remember before Holly said we're breathing in trust law? It's all around us. So there's power of attorney law out there too. And so fiduciary, that is the vocabulary word. So your POA, your agent, has a fiduciary duty to act in your best interest. However, if they've already gone into your bank account and taken all the money and gone to Aruba, it's gone. And it's really, really hard to get it back. So they violated their fiduciary duty, but your money's gone. So again, name people who you trust.